I'm going back and forth like this because it makes it easier to, like, if I want to archive certain clips to the Belief Buffet YouTube page, it makes it easier to do so by cutting it up, because at a certain length, YouTube doesn't allow it, I think. Technology is very confusing. It's magic. Oh, Piratey, it's all good. I'm overwhelmed with appreciation. As long as it's not distracting you guys too much. All right, interesting how birthday roadhead seems to be a common gift. That's a good observation, Piratey. I think that maybe well, part of me wants to endorse and embrace that kind of gifting. I also think that, you know, if talking on a cell phone is dangerous, certainly roadhead is dangerous. Life is Short asked, do I always get nervous speaking in public? No. And the reason is I've been doing it a lot now, and I now have enough, you know, I have, you know, 500 hours or so of speaking on YouTube. And so I feel like I have a lot of just stories to pull from, and because I consider myself more of a storyteller than, you know, a speaker, or you know, basically what I do is try to tell stories, and so I love doing that. Also, I can't remember who gave me the advice, but a long time ago, someone said, you know, when you're public speaking, it's easy to slip into the fear of you want to get people to like you. And you got to, like, win people over, and you got to try to convince, you know, like, sell people on you. And they said, people want to like you. People feel uncomfortable if you're not doing well. You know, have you ever seen someone go up on stage and just bomb, or freak, or get, you know, flustered, and they, you know, it makes you feel uncomfortable. You want them to be dynamic and wonderful. And so if you're up on stage, the challenge is not in impressing people. The challenge is in letting them love you and loving them back. And easier said than done, but if you know, when I can slip into that, and part of it too is just kind of the over the years letting go of my attachment to the outcome. You know, if I always go back to that mantra of be present, have integrity, align with love. And so if I can be present and have integrity and just speak from the heart, then it will resonate and the message will be heard as well as it should. And if the people that are in the audience don't receive it in the right way, that's not because I gave the wrong message or I said the wrong thing or didn't do a good job. It's because it was not we weren't a vibrational match. And that's not good nor bad. That's just is. And so kind of allowing for the outcome to be in God's hands or in the universe's hands and not my responsibility has diminished some of my fears. Now, that granted, sometimes a new experience or someplace where I feel like I'm a little out of place will make me get nervous. I'm kind of tentatively scheduled to speak at the TEDx America's Finest City event, I think next month? No, July? And so I'm supposed to go to a speaker training this weekend, and that will be a little different. I'll have slides and maybe even video, and, you know, much more of a polished talk than what I'm used to. So I'm a little nervous about that. Hopefully I will get to a point of preparedness so I don't feel it that way. But being prepared is not my strong point. Winging it is much more of a strength of mine. So when there's a prepared speech expected, or a time, like, okay, you have 20 minutes, like, that is more stressful for me. because then it's hard. I have to remind that the focal of be present, allow them to love you. That those concepts sometimes get trumped by the limitations of what I need to do, the points I need to hit, the phrases I should be saying, the time I need to say it in. Like on here, I know that I can speak from anywhere from 5 to 55 minutes before we do a hug. And so I feel free to explore a side story, to go wherever and let inspiration guide. And generally my experience with my talents and skills is that works better. So I guess the answer is no, I don't always get scared, but it is potentially an issue when there are restrictions that I'm not comfortable with. Thank you, Life is Short. I had fun at LIB. It was especially fun because, I wasn't on the schedule there. It was not an official talk. So anybody that was there were people that, follow me on Facebook, and so, or are friends on Facebook, or come to Hug Nation. So everyone there was someone who knew what they were getting into. They kind of knew who I was. We had some sort of connection already. And so I felt like I didn't even have to let people love me. I felt like we already loved each other. So it was just a matter of like, okay, what are some things that, just kind of letting the energy of our gathering dictate what I said and what we talked about. And so there were, at one point, and people were walking by and people were waving and there was all sorts of distractions. And so there was a couple times when I kind of lost my frame of like, what was I talking about? And if I was, doing a TEDx talk and I had 20 minutes and I lost what I was talking about, I wouldn't be able to go have people help remind me and kind of, I think that would fluster me and that would be hard. But when we were lighting a bottle, it just felt like friends around a campfire, and it just felt wonderful. That was another of the highlights of the weekend for sure.